250 years of slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow, sharecropping, the Ku Klux Klan, lynchings, bombings, mass incarceration, the separation and destruction of the black family. All of that has had an effect on our mind. Our mind needs to be decolonized. We today are experiencing mental slavery, not physical slavery as once our ancestors had to endure. In my book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we take you through every step to start releasing the chains that's on your mind. He or she who controls the mind control the person. It is in a vested interest of the white supremacist system to keep your mind bogged down in a mental slavery, throwing entertainment, throwing drugs, throwing alcohol, anything they can at you to keep you bogged down. You got to free yourself from mental slavery by purchasing our book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, today on Amazon. Make sure you share it with your family, share it with your friends. Everyone can benefit from decolonizing the mind, because once your mind is decolonized, you will never be put to sleep again. So a judge in the Ahmaud Arbery, murder trial, that McMichaels was trying to bring in his past that he had with the law. And the judge has decided that August the 30th, that there was no way that he was going to allow them to bring in any kind of, past dealings that Ahmaud Arbery had with law enforcement. Now, that is a proper ruling and a decent ruling. Now, prosecutors have said that they were trying to do this to try to, prejudice the jury against Ahmaud Arbery and also put him on trial. Now, that's what they try to do. A black person is murdered and they try to put them on trial, just like they tried that mess with George Floyd. Do you remember that? Trying to say, oh, he had drug use. Oh, he had this problem, that problem. So the hell what? What they got to do with you putting a knee on his neck? Nothing at all. Now, these, white supremacists, the ones that was arrested, the Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and the William Bryan, that one that actually filmed the lynching of our brother Ahmaud Arbery. So the prosecutor said that they were trying to do this so they basically can get things off of them. But on top of that, it's not just a state trial that they have to deal with. They have to deal with a federal case, because they was also charged with hate crime and kidnapping charges on the feds. So their problems is going to become more and more of a problem for them. Now, the trial judge, Timothy Walmsley, said that he will not allow this, because if he would, then it would put his brother on trial and try to make the defendants look like, oh, they wasn't doing nothing wrong. He already knew exactly what they was going to pull. And the people would not stand for it either. The people would not stand for it, because the people are sick and tired of them playing this game about trying to put a victim on trial. They would never do that to anybody else, but they try to do this to black men. Okay? And we have to keep calling that mess out when they do that. You remember when we shut that mess down a long time ago? It was the new black media that shut that mess down. It was the grassroots that shut that down. How they were doing that mess on Fox and CNN and all that, trying to put the black victim on trial. And we kept calling that out, exposing their racism in the media and also local media. And now they're very careful before they pull that stunt. That's why I always tell y'all, we do have some sort of influence on the narrative now. And that's why we got to use the power that we have for good. They prefer us fighting with each other and acting stupid and beefing. And that's what they love to see us do, because we're not focused and laser focused on white supremacy and ending that and bringing justice, freedom, and equality for our people. They don't want to see that. So that's why they love us being caught up in beefs and all the kind of other silliness, because we're making changes out here. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story. That is a good move by the judge, because Ahmaud Arbery, like I say, he was gunned down. He wasn't doing nothing wrong. He was jogging through a neighborhood. Public streets, anybody can jog through a public street. Doesn't matter who your neighborhood is. You don't own a freaking neighborhood. You may own your home. You may own your little piece of land. Fine. And if he's not on there, then you can't say nothing. But a public street, anybody's welcome to jog through. It don't matter about who neighborhood it is.
Diary of Dark One's Son is a look into the thoughts, opinions, and experiences of a young black man who is wrestling with the tough task of trying to make something out of himself in a very racist and hateful environment. It covers in detail the thoughts of a man as he observes and eventually learns how to cope and deal with the world around him. It is a story of a man who, while beset with many obstacles, learns how to overcome them in order to accomplish his goals and aspirations. This book is not for the faint of heart, and the opinions that are shared in this book can be deemed very offensive to some readers. If you think that you will be offended by the opinions shared in this book, the answer is simple. This is not the book for you. This book is merely the opinions of one man, and it should be taken as such. However, if you really wish to gain insight into the thoughts of a young black male in today's society, then look no further. Read this book. Excerpt from the book. From the chapter, Am I Visible or What? One day when I was walking home from school, I came across this other brother who was walking my way. In his eyes, I could see the sadness, the same sadness that was in mine. I knew exactly what was going through his mind too. He was feeling like an absolute nobody. How did I know, you ask? Because I was feeling the same way at the moment, right when I walked past him. Have you ever felt, if you are a black man reading this, that you were invisible to the world? Not because you want to be, but because people refuse to acknowledge your presence. Read more when you purchase this book. This book can be purchased from lulu.com.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store.